Ladies and gentlemen, look, now that we've done a lot of damage, in terms of players coming in, some key players coming in, the focus once again, ladies and gentlemen, is letting go of players. And it's going to be a frantic, a chaotic end to this transfer window. I think there's going to be quite a lot of players that's going to leave Chelsea, whether it's on loan, whether it's on permanent. A lot of people have been wondering what's going on with Hakim Ziyech. A lot of news about Hakim Ziyech. He's looking like he's on the way to Galatasaray. No more hiccups here. So we're going to talk about that. There's news in regards to Romeo Lavia. The medicals are being completed. And ladies and gentlemen, the social media, Chelsea fan base are absolutely upset about Lewis Hall potentially leaving Chelsea Football Club on a permanent basis to Newcastle. So we're going to talk about all of this. Let's go. All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get cracking straight into this news of Hakim Ziyech. We've got a lot of other news popping in, so stay tuned for this. Smash the like button straight away, ladies and gentlemen. Very important to make sure you smash the like button. Let's keep growing this channel. Very close to 28,000 subscribers. Chelsea have reached verbal agreement in principle with Galatasaray for Hakim Ziyech's transfer. Deal subject to further details and also medical tests, as Chelsea are careful after twist with PSG and Al Nassr. If you guys remember, he was on the verge of going to Al Nassr, but some complications happened in the medical situation. They found some issues with his knee, which Hakim Ziyech later mocked about on Instagram stories. I'm not really sure what really happened there, but something went down. Obviously, we all know what happened with PSG. Apparently, we didn't send the fax or the email to the right address. Oh my God, it was absolutely chaotic. So this was earlier on in the day. As the day progressed, ladies and gentlemen, Hakim Ziyech has passed his Galatasaray medical and will leave Chelsea this summer. So 100% this is happening at the moment. So look, what I have to say about Hakim Ziyech, you guys all know how much I love this player, man. I'm so sad it hasn't worked out at Chelsea Football Club. He's my Habibi. I know the player that I saw at Ajax that one Champions League season. I can't remember the exact season, the year, but the one that they beat Real Madrid and they went all the way to, I think, semi-finals up against Spurs, and they bottled it. Spursy like they bottled it. That particular season, oh my God, Ajax were sensational, and especially Hakim Ziyech. So I could understand why Chelsea were interested. And Frank Lampard was an admirer, a huge admirer of Hakim Ziyech. And when he got Hakim Ziyech, unfortunately, he got injured against Brighton, if you guys remember, on that pre-season game, just straight after COVID situation sort of started to ease down. And since that injury, Hakim Ziyech never found consistency at Chelsea Football Club. He came back after that injury and he was instrumental. I still remember early stages of Frank Lampard. And then in December, he got injured again. And then the bad results started coming. Then we saw Frank Lampard get sacked. Thomas Tuchel came in, and once Thomas Tuchel came in, he really never fancied Hakim Ziyech, because Hakim Ziyech wanted to hug the touchline. He wanted to do the furthest right-sided player, then cut in, and that's just something that Thomas Tuchel could not accommodate. And he was still instrumental, though, in the Champions League. I still remember he got that goal against Atletico Madrid. I remember got some really key goals against Man City in the FA Cup and also in the Premier League. And yeah, in the Super Cup as well, I believe Hakim Ziyech scored the goal and then he injured his shoulder again. And that was actually a couple of seasons back, the sanctioned season, when Chelsea got sanctioned and the ownership issues. That pre-season, Hakim Ziyech had a blinder of a pre-season. And once again in the Super Cup, got done with his shoulder. And then the rest is history, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I wish him luck. Galatasaray's got Zaha. And now they've got themselves Hakim Ziyech. I'll be definitely keen to see them in the Champions League. I think he deserves to play, Hakim Ziyech. And sad didn't work out. But sometimes these sort of sad stories, they happen in football. And we've got to move on. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Romeo Lavia has completed his Chelsea medical media duties and announcement next. Fantastic news. That's done and dusted. Hopefully he's available for the West Ham match. Don't forget, West Ham match is on Sunday afternoon UK time. So we've got a bit of time until Friday for registration of the players. I fully believe he should be ready to be registered. He should be announced early tomorrow, if not even late tonight, but I think it'll probably be early tomorrow. Romeo Lavia will almost certainly be on lower wages at Chelsea as he begins his career at Stamford Bridge. Then James Ward-Prowse is on at West Ham. All the people that have been talking about, Chelsea are doing this by paying these players exorbitant amount of money. That's not the case. The whole idea our board and our owners are trying to do is selling, and we're going to talk about balancing out the books, selling some of these academy product players because they're straight profit into the book, and also other players that are not wanted, and bringing in high quality young players. A lot of people are like, why are we going with young players? Why not going with experience? One of the reasons is these young players they've got massive talent and their ceiling is unbelievable, and the other factor is we're not paying them as much as what people claim claim that we are paying. Romeo Lavia apparently is on less than 100k. That's the report from the Athletic. So Romeo Lavia's salary with Chelsea will be less than 100k a week. So you can see what we're doing: long-term contracts, lower wages. I'm pretty sure there's some performance bonuses, and then the transfer fee for Romeo Lavia. Yeah, okay, 58 million, but it's not like you're 70, 80, 90 million. Caicedo was the huge one, obviously, and that's the one that will hurt Chelsea's books, and this is why they're looking to balance it out as much as possible. But yeah, it's players like Romeo Lavia, Nicholas Jackson. Do you know what I mean? All of these other youngsters that we bought, they're all on very minimal wages, less than 100k, and this is also helping out the financial fair play situation because the wage is being lowered incredibly. The amount of players we've let go, Kai Havertz was on very good wages, and Kovacic, Kante, all of these players out off our books. Do you know what I mean? So this is helping the cause a lot. And then bringing in players, even Mudryk and Enzo Fernandez, they're not on massive wages. Mudryk, I think, is on about 97k. Enzo Fernandez, not more than 100, not too much more than Mudryk either. So all of these efforts are helping. And, all the people that are hoping we screw up with financial fair play, our owners and our board are very much on top of the situation. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this particular news is really getting people very, very annoyed. Breaking: Chelsea put Lewis Hall up for sale, seeking around 30 million. This is from Sam Wallace of Telefootball. I won't be surprised if this player gets sold. Breaking: Chelsea have put teenage Lewis Hall up for sale by asking for around 30 million amid interest from Newcastle United. Hall, 18, agreed a new contract this summer until 2030, and the original intention had been for him to go on loan. So this is where people are getting quite irate about the situation that we've just literally recently, gave him a long-term contract, and we're thinking about, developing his career, developing his skill set, and looking to send him on a loan and get him those regular minutes, and then he's going to come back to Chelsea Football Club and fight for his place. Look, ladies and gentlemen, let me make it categorically clear, I don't want to sell Lewis Hall. I think he's got immense talent. I do want him to go out on loan and get regular minutes, because right now he's not part of the roster, right? That's what I said in my last video as well for the Romeo Lavia announcement video, the Here We Go video. Lewis Hall, as much as we don't like it, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to understand it. We definitely have to understand the fact that our owners, our board, the level of damage we've done with Caicedo, with Lavia, and we're looking to buy more after we've done such a splendid job selling all of those players to balance out the issues from last window, the previous window. Before we had about 600 million, but now we're up to 800 million. We're going to have to further keep selling players. All of these players that we've sold, they really just cover about 1, maximum 2 years of amortization. Our amortized amount per year to pay some of these transfers that we've done is, I've seen some report, it's about 175 million fixed costs per season. So far, the sales we've done will cover for 2 years. After that, we need to make sure that the money is coming in. Obviously, this is very important that we make it into Champions League. Very important that we've reduced the wage bill. Very important that we finish as high as possible in the Premier League to bring in more revenue. And we're looking to bring in more revenue streams as well. This is what our owners, our marketing team are looking at, different partnerships and whatnot, right? Oman Air, some of those data analytics companies as well. So I don't like it, but I'm just putting out a disclaimer. People, you might have to accept the fact that we will be looking to sell some of these players, even Ian Maatsen, because these academy players are pure profit and they're the most viable, like they're the most marketable products at the moment. Other players like Ziyech, Lukaku. Ziyech, I don't think we're going to get too much money from Galatasaray, if I'm being absolutely honest. I think Al Nassr were looking to pay somewhere around £12 million, something like that. It's probably going to be similar with Galatasaray as well, if not less. Lewis Hall at 30 million. That's what I said in my last video. You get something around 25 to 30 million, a player that's not really proven in the Premier League, right? I know, supremely talented. I fully understand it. But I think Chelsea will entertain this. Chelsea will seriously entertain this. Look, the only way to look about it is hopefully we can get a buyback clause from Newcastle, but Newcastle are no Mickey Mouse clubs anymore. They're a top, fighting for top 4, top 5, whatever we want to call it now, because top 5 gets you to Champions League. Apparently, that's the word that's going around. I think that is true, though. And Newcastle, they're one of the top teams in the Premier League. So I don't know if you can just, bend them over backwards for a buyback clause. They're not a small club. They're a big club. I don't think they'll be appreciating buyback clauses from other clubs they're competing with. So, look, if that can be done, that could be something. People are saying send him on a loan to Newcastle. Believe me, Newcastle won't just take a player on loan to develop our player without a option. That's why there is an obligation to buy. This is what Newcastle apparently are trying to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Lewis Hall. Do you understand it? Because that's what, as a fan, we need to understand why Chelsea is doing this. Because of the money we are spending. We have to be leveling it up somewhere. We cannot just be splashing money. Obviously, we got money, but financial fair play, we have to be within that. This is why we're looking to sell players like Lewis Hall, which I don't agree with, but I have to understand it. This is why don't get yourself hooked onto a player. I am keeping away from being, falling in love with a player. Like, of course, as fan, we adore and we get excited about players, but have that sensibility that these players can be sold. And we have to understand whether it makes sense or not. And in this case, it makes sense why Chelsea is doing it. We don't like it, though. But this is the predicament that we find ourselves in. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, it's so important. This is why I kept on saying earlier on, future plans, who you're bringing in. Don't just, when people were talking about Vlahovic, do you remember Vlahovic? Just bring in Vlahovic. You got to be very, very careful. What is the plan for Armando Broja? What is the plan for David Datra Fofana? I mean, all of these things have to be, now we've got in Caicedo, Romeo Lavia. Conor Gallagher's gone. And even players like Chukwuemeka, there's information about him that he could potentially go on a loan because Andre Santos, we want him to stay around. So, and then there's Cesare Caicedo, who's in Leicester. So we got to have a plan. And not every single one of these players can make it at Chelsea Football Club. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive from Felix. Ian Maatsen has rejected Chelsea's first verbal contract offer. He's probably looking at what's going on with Lewis. So there is no panic yet. Situation described as an open negotiation. West Ham are very interested in Maatsen. And look, I would hate it. Once again, this player, I'll probably even hate this more than Lewis Hall, if I'm being absolutely honest. From what I've seen so far of him in the preseason, this guy is very versatile, can be used in multiple positions. More importantly, can be used as a number 10, man. He's got that eye for looking for that threaded pass for Nicholas Jackson, to release him. He seems very dynamic. He's busy, presses well, he's got good pace, can score goals, can defend if you want to put him as a left back. We've already seen him on left wing, right wing, through the middle. This will hurt. This really would hurt. But once again, I will not be surprised because we're looking to bring in Michael Olise. It looks like we are. There's Noni Madueke. There's Raheem Sterling. There's Mudryk. and we're looking to bring in potentially another striker. There's Nicholas Jackson. Don't forget, Nkunku ain't going to be injured forever. And if we play 4-3-3, do you know what I mean? You're only playing with two wingers, and there is already quite a lot of players in those wing areas. Where does Ian Maatsen go? Unless Cucurella gets sold or gets sent on a loan, and Ian Maatsen starts playing as a backup to Ben Chilwell, because you best believe Ben Chilwell will start. He's the vice captain of Chelsea Football Club. Yes, he needs to up his game as well. No problems about that. But Ben Chilwell will start. So someone like Ian Maatsen, he'll start thinking, what's going on? What's going on? One game a week. It would have been different if Chelsea were in Europe. Okay, we can get a bigger squad. Don't think we need a bigger squad right now. So it'll be interesting to see, can we perhaps extend his loan, extend his contract out, and then perhaps, I don't know, look to see him go on a loan in a Premier League club. I think that might be an ideal situation for Ian Maatsen instead of being sold, because I feel like there is immense value in Ian Maatsen, but he's already hesitating to sign a new contract because he doesn't want to be, messed about. Like, look at Lewis, so signed a new contract and it looks like he's probably going to be sold. So let's see. Let's monitor what's going on with some of these players. Next up, Chelsea are likely to listen to offers for Conor Gallagher and Trevor Chalobah, who have both established themselves in the first team squad. Callum Hudson-Odoi, long out of the picture at Stamford Bridge, is also expected to leave this summer. Callum Hudson-Odoi, come on, mate. Find a team immediately. What happened to the Fulham situation? Let's go. Let's make it happen. Conor Gallagher and Trevor Chalobah, 100% they're going to be sold. 100%. I know some of us, even I, was very excited about Conor Gallagher's performance against Liverpool. And I know a lot of keen supporters, keen Conor Gallagher, Galatuso, Gala Del Piero, do you know what I mean? There's a lot of fan of him, but we've now got too much talent in that midfield for Gallagher to stick around, so he's got to go. Carney Chukwuemeka could leave on loan. Chelsea are expected to keep Andre Santos in their squad as midfield cover. See, this is the thing. This is what happens when you stockpile all of these players. Players like Carney Chukwuemeka. I would not let him go, though. I honestly would not let him go. Because now that potentially, I don't know, we could still go with 4-2-3-1, and even then, Carney Chukwuemeka will put it as a chance to play as a number 10. We've already seen that. Pochettino favors that as well, just behind Nicholas Jackson, even though I do want him to improve his game to find Nicholas Jackson more consistently early. But if we do play a midfield three, that's where I feel like Chukwuemeka can play as a number 8. And it gives him more opportunities, because 3 midfielders, 2 spots as 8s, he should get some minutes off the bench. The cup matches he could potentially start. So I don't want to let go of Chukwuemeka. And I know Chelsea got their eyes on Andre Santos, and I love that as well. But if we do play 3-man midfield, right? So you got Caicedo as the deepest midfielder, Lavia and Enzo as the 2 8s, and then the backups, obviously, Andre Santos. You can have Chukwuemeka. You can have, Ukuchukwu. We'll see what happens if he stays or not. But yeah, as I said, there is options for them to stick around. So let me know, ladies and gentlemen, what you think about Carney Chukwuemeka going on loan. There's going to be a lot of movement that's going to happen in the next few days up until the end of the transfer window. Now, in regards to Michael Olise, although Crystal Palace are unhappy with Chelsea's approach to Michael Olise, Chelsea's sources insist no rules were broken. Palace have not made an official complaint, but did express tapping up concerns to informally to Chelsea. Just shut your mouth, honestly, Palace. Shut your mouth and know your role. There's been no tapping up here. If you really think there's something going on, then go. Formally complain. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see who lied. We'll be there. So, look, it's the transfer window, man. Clubs talk to the players' agents. Agents then relay the message to the club. That's how it all operates. I don't know what Crystal Palace, what procedure they've got in front of them. Must be from the 1960s or something like that, a long time ago. Get to the reality. Get to the new era, how it all works. Crystal Palace does the same thing. Every club does the same thing. Talk to the agent. See if the player is looking to move first. See if the player is keen to agree on personal terms, because you need to get the players buying first. No point in talking to the club and the player's like, no, I'm not interested. This is what Liverpool does. Don't be operating like Liverpool. And then the agent talks and relays the message to the club. In this case, I think Crystal Palace is just upset that why haven't Chelsea taken the permission to speak to us first? Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. Look, I think Michael Olise will be a Chelsea player soon enough. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, some Moises Caicedo news. Honestly, it fills my heart with joy when I see news about Moises Caicedo. Gianfranco Zola gives his seal of approval to Moises Caicedo wearing the number 25 shirt. He's going to be wearing the number 25 shirt. This is what Zola had to say. Thank you for the message, Moises. I hope it will bring you as many pleasure as it brought to me. Good luck. Love this. Beautiful touch. Beautiful message from Zola. Number 25 for Moises Caicedo. Hopefully he can produce a lot of assists for Nicholas Jackson. I can't believe he's really ours, is what Chelsea Dodgers is saying. He's training, man. Honestly, I love this, man. This is so good to see. This is so good to see. I might get a little bit teary. Do you know what I mean? Moises Caicedo training for Chelsea, with Chelsea Football Club and his teammates. Look at this, more pictures. I cannot wait for him to start against West Ham. His first one, definitely in the team sheet, no doubts about it. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, some really, really exciting times ahead. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content, ladies and gentlemen. I shall see you guys with a live tomorrow. Until then, take care and see ya.